This is Matador News, and these are today's headlines. This morning, Donald Trump says he'd only accept election results if he wins. CSUN takes part in the statewide earthquake shakeout drill today. And after a tough loss to the Chicago Cubs in Game 4, the Los Angeles Dodgers look to take the lead in the series. Hello, and welcome to Matador News. I'm Angely Levis.
And I'm Francisco Castanon.
The final debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton is over. One big controversy is Trump's refusal to accept the election results. Today, Trump says there is only one way he will do so.
That I will totally accept the results of this great and historic presidential election if I win.
Last night, Clinton said Trump's refusal to accept the election result is horrifying.
And we've had hot, contested elections going back to the very beginning. But one of our hallmarks has always been that we accept the outcomes of our election.
Today, Trump is campaigning in swing state Ohio and Clinton in Florida.
The two candidates squared off in the third and final presidential debate last night at UNLV. The candidates argued over several major issues like border and gun control. Clinton's challenged Trump's recent claims of a rigged election.
He claims whatever it is rigged against him. The FBI conducted a year-long investigation into my emails. They concluded there was no case. He said the FBI was rigged. He lost the Iowa caucus. He lost the Wisconsin primary. He said the Republican primary was rigged against him.
Question.
Clinton also said Trump feels bigger when he's rude to women. Trump defended himself against the recent allegations about his conduct towards women.
Those stories are all totally false. I have to say that. And I didn't even apologize to my wife, who's sitting right here, because I didn't do anything. I didn't know any of these women. I didn't see these women. These women, the woman on the plane, the woman, I think they want either fame or her campaign did it.
The debate also had its share of controversial moments, including Trump's use of the phrase bad hombre to describe Mexican immigrants. The latest CNN poll shows Clinton won the final presidential debate, topping Donald Trump by a 13-point margin.
Now, let's go to Haley Spellman in the newsroom with CSUN's reaction to last night's debate.
Thanks, Angely. Even though a majority of the CSUN community seems to have been watching the Dodgers game last night, we found some reactions to the final presidential debate. When we asked CSUN political science professor Rosa Garcia what she thinks about Trump not accepting election results in the event that he loses, she says Trump is questioning the legitimacy of democracy.
It might have profound consequences for the U.S. political system, since it's, removing legitimacy to the whole process first, and second, introduce an element of anxiety, what's going to happen next.
When we talked to a CSUN student who had actually watched the debate, she had strong feelings about Trump calling Clinton a nasty woman.
It's not fair for him to treat women like that in general. What gives him the right? And why would we want a president like that?
Now let's go back to Francisco with more news.
Kurdish Peshmerga and Iraq forces continue to engage in battle to liberate the city of Mosul from 2 years of brutal ISIS rule. Hundreds of armored vehicles began the large-scale offensive targeting a series of villages to the north and northeast of Mosul. U.S. Army Brigade General Mark Kimmett says the danger for troops as they move into the city is great.
When they go inside the city of Mosul, how far back are the U.S. troops going to be? Are they going inside the city? Will they be at risk from IEDs and from landmines that they see along the ground?
The Pentagon also announced today that a bomb explosion in Iraq killed an American soldier, the first to die in the Battle of Mosul.
The humanitarian pause announced for Russia, the city of Aleppo, continues today. Airstrikes from Russia and Syria have stopped since Tuesday. Humanitarian officials hope it will allow civilians and rebel fighters to leave and find safety. In the past 2 months, over 2,000 people have been killed or injured by attacks in eastern Aleppo. 8 exits have established throughout the city. 6 of the exits are meant for civilians and aid deliverers, and the other 2 are meant for the rebels who would be able to leave armed. Correspondent from Orient News report only a few civilians have evacuated so far. Russian Defense Minister Shoigu says the pause in the bombing will help guarantee the safety of civilians during the evacuation. Russian and Syrian jets will keep a 10-kilometer distance from the city during the pause. Humanitarian officials have extended the plan for an extra day and hope to get civilians to safety.
NBA Knicks point guard Derrick Rose has been cleared in the lawsuit accusing him of rape of women. Rose thanked each juror and his lawyer after the verdict was read. The woman seeking $21.5 million showed no emotion after the final decision. Her lawyer later described her as devastated. Jurors said his celebrity status had nothing to do with their decision.
Now let's go to Lexi Wilson with the latest in business.
Thank you, Angely. Barbie is making a fashionable comeback. Sales have risen after Mattel expanded its doll line to include 3 new body types. Mattel has suffered sale losses after rival Hasbro's took Disney licenses. This allowed the toy makers to re-up the rewards of the princess dolls like Elsa and Anna from Disney's Frozen. The rise comes in the time of the upcoming holiday season when 50% of toy sales are made. Other companies making turnarounds are American Girl, Fisher-Price, and Hot Wheels. Apple has scheduled a media event on October 27th. Rumor is that they plan to unveil the new Mac product line. The invitation says hello again, which is a throwback to the launch of the Macintosh in 1984, when the computer introduced itself as, "Hello, I'm Macintosh." The new MacBook Pro laptop is rumored to be thinner, lighter, and faster. It will also have a touchscreen. People are waiting to see if Apple will remove the traditional headphone jacks after the company eliminated it from the iPhone 7. Apple sold $5 billion worth of Mac products last year, which is a 13% decline from last year. Now to Kelly Landaverde with the latest on sports.
Thank you, Lexi. The Cubs crushed the Dodgers last night, 10-2. They're tied now in the NLCS 2-2. Addison Russell put the Cubs up by 4-0 with the homer. Anthony Rizzo's first home run of the postseason put the Cubs up by 5-0. Anthony Rizzo, Addison Russell, and the rest of the Chicago Cubs found their form in the Cubs' Game 4 victory. Rizzo ended a postseason drought with 3 RBIs last night. Rizzo and Russell each had 3 hits. The Cubs ended their 21-inning scoreless streak. The winner of today's pivotal Game 5 matchup will be 1 win away from the World Series. Kenta Maeda takes the mound for the Dodgers, while the Cubs will counter with John Lester. The Sparks are on their way to a Game 5 of the WNBA Finals. The Sparks are trying to stay alive, while the Minnesota Lynx are trying to secure their 2nd straight championship trophy. That will be their 4th title in the last 6 years. The Lynx would match an all-time record for most team titles in league history. The game will take place at the Target Center at 5 today in Minneapolis. Argentinian star Lionel Messi is back playing at the fullest again after his groin injury. He scored a hat-trick yesterday against Manchester City, helping his team earn a victory at the Camp Nou. Messi put Barca up 1-0 in the 17th minute after recovering his own turnover and driving in towards goal. In the second half, in the 60th minute, Iniesta passed the ball over to Messi, who took over 2 steps near the edge of the area and neatly tucked a low shot just inside the post. 9 minutes later, he completed his hat-trick. This is his 37th hat-trick and his 7th career Champions League hat-trick with the Catalan team. Neymar Jr. added a late goal in the 89th minute. Barcelona hammered Manchester City 4-0. Now back to Lexi with entertainment news.
Eminem blasts Donald Trump supporters on the new LPTs called Campaign Speech. The 8-minute-long track was posted online yesterday. The rapper tweeted, "Don't worry, I'm working on an album, but here's something meanwhile." And he linked the song for listeners. He disses Trump and references everyone from Trayvon Martin to Colin Kaepernick. Some of the lyrics include, "Consider me a dangerous man, but you should be afraid of this dang candidate." David Duke, a former imperial wizard of the Ku Klux Klan and Louisiana Senate candidate, said that Eminem is poisoning the minds of our youth. Chelsea Handler's Netflix series is hosting a women's dinner party, focusing on sexual and pay inequality in Hollywood. Handler hosts actress Hilary Swank and Connie Britton, director Ava Don Vernay and Miss USA, Deshauna Barber. They talk about their personal stories of when they have experienced gender inequality. Hilary Swank talks about how she was only paid $3,000 for her Oscar-winning role in Boys Don't Cry. She was paid so little that she didn't even qualify for health insurance. The full episode also includes Gloria Steinem discussing women of history. It is now streaming on Netflix. Now back to Kelly with the latest on health.
The United States has the highest number of reporting STD cases. The CDC says the rates of chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis have risen an average of 13%. Syphilis in newborns have also gone up by over 6%. The CDC says while all three STDs are curable with antibiotics, many cases go undiagnosed and untreated. Reports say that 21 health clinics across the country have closed because of budget cuts. People aged 15 or 24 and gay and bisexual men are most at risk of getting an STD. Chocolate and strawberry milk are coming back to LA to public schools. The LAUSD has loosened a 2011 ban on sugary flavored milk. They are now allowing select schools to reintroduce flavored milk to students. Board members say that they are examining the ban out concern the district is throwing out obscene amounts of food. A 2015 study says the school district has 600 tons of waste a day. Most of the trash was plain milk cartons that students wouldn't drink. Now to Matador News reporter Curtis Poindexter in the newsroom with more on CSUN Shakeout.
Thanks. When an earthquake hits, most people don't know what to do. CSUN students participated in the Great Shakeout, a statewide earthquake drill. At the preparedness fair, students and geography teachers gathered to show the do's and don'ts during an earthquake. The fair included posters giving tips, and students were shown to the closest faults near them. Students gave examples of what to do during an earthquake.
Well, we're trying to
CSUN
stress the
employee
importance of having an earthquake kit in your house or in your car, because when earthquakes hit, it can be very disastrous, and everything's so fast that you don't necessarily have the time to get everything you need.
Honestly, I don't think enough people are prepared for that, including myself. We can always look to improve our earthquake kits and seeing how we can actually survive a huge earthquake.
And then when I came to school, it was a lot of chaos going on.
Professors recommend students be prepared if an earthquake hits. A safety kit is one of the best ways to stay prepared. While demonstrators dropped to the ground and hid under the tables, many students didn't seem to be taking it seriously. The last major earthquake hit Northridge in 1994. Many experts say the next big earthquake is expected soon. And while not all people know how dangerous earthquakes are, events like the Great Shakeout hope to spread awareness. Now back to Francisco for more with news.
A new law has been announced in England to pardon men who were convicted of laws criminalizing homosexuality. It's been named the Alan Turing Law after the World War II computer scientist who was convicted of gross indecency in 1952. Turing underwent chemical castration and died 2 years later of cyanide poisoning in an apparent suicide. A great number of deceased men will be pardoned for homosexuality convictions. The law will also apply to men. Men will be required to apply for a disregard of the conviction under the Protection of Freedom Acts.
Thank you for watching Matador News. I'm Angely Levis.
I'm Francisco Castanon.
I'm Kelly Landaverde.
And I'm Lexi Wilson.